Hello, welcome back to the Forbidden Land podcast. I am going to talk about ad blockers. I'm going to talk about the upcoming Christmas season because that's super exciting. Right now, I have my whole office decorated with Christmas stuff. I have. Let me see if I can get a good shot. I have the monkey plush sit next to a little Christmas tree. Last year, I think I just had the Christmas tree, so he gets to share a space with the Christmas tree this year. And then I have the Christmas lights on in the back, going up and going over the door. You can kind of see it behind the monkey as well. And I don't use them very often. It makes the room really hot. But because it's below freezing half the time here, I've been using them. They also make me kind of nervous. I feel like they're a huge fire hazard, despite surge protectors being legitimately more dangerous than Christmas lights are. But that's why I don't turn them on very often. They've been up for 2 years. They go behind the chair, over the door, and then behind the couch and over to the shelf, and then I tie them around the shelf. And they make the room look kind of cute. It is really weird that I trust the LED lights back here and on this side of the door. I trust those way more than Christmas lights. So I just recently watched a little bit of a Louis Rossman video. I don't usually ever watch him, but I figured, why not watch this one about ad blockers? I've been slowly awaiting the time when YouTube will give me the warning, because when they do that, I'm just going to have to buy YouTube Premium. And I guess there are now ad blockers that are getting so good, they can block embedded ads, which kind of counteracts what YouTube is doing. So it wouldn't show a pop-up, and it would make YouTube think you're seeing ads, and then you just don't see any, which I feel like is really hard to code. Because Twitch does that. They embed their ads, and my ad blockers don't work on Twitch. I don't get a pop-up, but the ads are somehow built into the Twitch stream, so my ad blocker just thinks it's part of the Twitch stream. And thankfully, the only streamers I watch, I'm sub to with a Prime sub or whatever. So that's one streamer. Usually I end up getting gifted a sub in those communities anyway, in the communities where I'm not subbed. But Twitch has got it down where you have to watch at least one ad and then probably an ad at the top of every hour, and your ad blocker can do nothing about it. That's whatever. I can deal with one ad an hour. I usually disable my ad blocker on sites that have the pop-up. But there's something about ads on YouTube. I've been seeing a bunch of people talk about the pop-up, and the last time I didn't have an ad blocker was, I think, 7 years ago. No, 8 years ago almost at this point. It was 2015. I remember I didn't have an ad blocker because I was on YouTube, and the video I was watching, I got an ad for a Chromecast. And I was like, oh man, that sounds interesting. I had just gotten a TV at the time. And or did I have the TV yet? I was getting the TV for Christmas. I knew I was getting a TV for Christmas, and I was like, well, I need something to plug into it, and I didn't know that I was going to get an Xbox. So for Christmas. So I bought the Chromecast and plugged it into the TV eventually when I got it for Christmas. And I would watch I was so lame back then. I would watch The Daily Show on there. I was 13. watching The Daily Show with Jon Stewart on my Chromecast. That's actually what's on this TV right now is the Chromecast that I bought. But I got that from an ad. It's the only time I think I've ever bought something from an ad. And soon after that, I discovered what an ad blocker was, and I installed it. Now, at that time, YouTube had started introducing double ads. I think mid-rolls had already become a thing. Mid-rolls became a thing, and they were super annoying because people would purposely go to hit that 10-minute mark so they could put mid-rolls. And I was in the partner program at the time, so I remember you could go to the video and choose where you wanted the mid-rolls. I remember some YouTubers were actually kind of slick about it. They would like purposely time commercial breaks, which I thought was kind of neat. But they'd be like super long videos. They'd be like 30 to 40 minutes. You know, like the length of a full-length TV show. And, you know, I didn't really have a problem with that. It was the people that like had 10-minute long videos just so they could be 10 minutes. And they could max out the mid-rolls, which I think the max was like 5 at the time. And I remember when they introduced ads at the end of videos, which I thought was really stupid because you can just stop watching the video. Like, I didn't understand that one. Just because you could legit just not watch the end of the video. But then when I was a freshman in high school, they started to introduce double ads, where it would play 2 ads at the beginning of the video. And like sometimes the first ad wouldn't be skippable. And I remember I got like a 30-minute ad for the double ad break, and it wasn't skippable. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I had to like close the video and reopen it. And it was like a skippable 15-second ad with a second one on the way. And I remember I was like, I'm getting an ad blocker. So I had an ad blocker on my computer, and then like I would download YouTube Music and get the free YouTube Red subscription. And then I would like, once that would run out, because it would be like a 2-week subscription or something, or I think it was 2 weeks, yeah. I would run out of it. Then I would log into a different account, use the free trial. I would just keep doing that over and over. And I remember I eventually gave up because it was too much work and I ran out of accounts. I had gotten like 3 months of YouTube Music, free YouTube Red out of it. And like that was my solution. I literally bought a 10-foot HDMI cable. Actually, it might be 15 feet. I bought a long-ass HDMI cable to run from the back of this computer to this TV next to me, just so I could have ad-free YouTube sometimes. And I remember I just want it on in the background for the ambience. It also turns on this TV for some reason. And they're not even the same brand, but like this TV, whenever I play YouTube, it will, if I watch YouTube on here, we were watching like some Conjuring house exploration video. It was like Sam and Colby, because my girlfriend found it and she was like, let's watch. And we were watching it and we got like a minute into the video, ad. Like 15 minutes in, another 2 ads. And it was ridiculous. I think we got like 17 mid-rolls over the course of like an hour and a half, which is ridiculous. Now, the reason I'm talking about this is because the pop-up that you get with the ad blocker, I've already determined that if I get that and I can't use my ad blocker anymore, I'm just going to get YouTube Premium. And the reason for that is because ads on YouTube are so unbelievably fucking annoying that I have to block them. If all it was just an ad at the beginning, 1 or 2 mid-rolls depending on the length of the video, maybe an ad at the end, and like they still had like their banner ads on the sidebar, Whatever. I don't care. Like, you can even bring back the banner ads at the bottom. Why did they get rid of those? You remember like those shitty ads that would pop up at the bottom of YouTube videos? Like the little banner ones, you'd have to hit the X on them. But you'd still have like the option of clicking an arrow and bringing the ad back up. What happened to those? What happened to the ad rev on those? And here's the bullshit part. They cut a ton of people out of the YouTube partner program. I got cut from the YouTube partner program because the requirement now, if I'm not mistaken, let me go look. The requirement now is... Here, I can probably show this, honestly. I don't think there's anything super revealing on this page. So, if you want to be in the partner program, and this is so you can have, like, memberships and super chats, and, like, display your store, you have to have at least 500 subs, which I have, at least 3 uploads in the last 90 days, which I've done. But the stupid part is you have to have 3,000 watch hours or 3 million shorts views in a specific period. Now, and once you're eligible, you can apply. And you have to meet like certain criteria. It was created so there were no more like clip channels and like movie clip channels that were making money and skirting around the copyright system. And there were like certain loopholes you could jump through to get ad revenue. That's what they did. They cut it down so there was more ad revenue in a pool to disperse across creators. Well, in the process of changing that policy, they also like tripled the amount of ads that show up on a YouTube video. We've gone from like 1 or 2 ads, you know, maybe even 5 ads on a YouTube video with like a banner ad at the bottom and maybe even a little ad on the side, to now we have like double ads at the beginning. Sometimes they're unskippable entirely, so you're sitting through like a minute worth of ads, like at most. And then multiple mid-rolls sometimes can be doubled up, sometimes can be unskippable on both of them. And then possibly even a double ad at the end. There's still the little ads on the sidebar. I never see the banner ads at the bottom, so those are gone. But that's a shitload of advertisements. That must be a ton of ad revenue, too. I'm sure the ad rates have gone up in the last, like, what, 6 years since the adpocalypse? I'm sure of it. There's no way they're still, like... I'm sure Coca-Cola's not like... But that ISIS video from, like, 6 years ago that some guy found that had, like, 3 views and it had a Coke ad on, like, the sidebar or whatever. Or, like, as, like, a pop-up ad on the beginning of the video. We're not going to pay for advertising space on this website. I highly doubt the ad rates on YouTube are still low. So why is it that there are so many ads? You know, wouldn't they just be paying for more ad space across YouTube? Like, it's just another greed problem, is it not? So, you know, either I can pay for YouTube Premium, or I can go and find some obscure ad blocker that's strong enough to block YouTube ads and to block the pop-up. But for now, I think I'm fine. I don't want to jinx it. But, ow, that really hurt. I think I knocked on it with the wrong part of my hands. But, yeah, I feel like for now I'm fine, because I haven't gotten the pop-up. Like I said, knock on wood. But still, my point stands that it seems really greedy and bullshitty to do this ad blocker thing all of a sudden. By the way, I believe the amount of users on the internet that actually use ad blockers is something like 3%. Let me look up the stats on this. How many people use ad block? 26% of the entire United States uses an ad blocker. indicating that roughly 73 million internet users have installed some form of ad blocking software. So that's just in the US. That's 26% of the internet users in the US. That is nothing compared to the billions of people that watch YouTube every day. This is on Statista.com. Okay, let me find a good source. This article is saying 65 million people use Adblock. Quarter 3 of 2023 or 2021, 37% of internet users worldwide use an ad blocker. Interesting. So roughly 800 million people worldwide use an ad blocker in total. Meanwhile, there's like 4 billion users on YouTube. I feel like it's not that big of a dent. How many of those people using an ad blocker are actually watching YouTube? My point still stands. I feel like ad block should still not be a blockable offense. You know, I think blocking ads, you should have every right to do so. It's your fucking internet. I feel like not enough people are I don't know. I feel like not enough people are using ad blocker to justify this, you know. Anyways. Lord have mercy. Oh no. No. Oh man. They got rid of the touch bar. No, on the M3 MacBook Pros. According to Marques Brownlee, they're getting rid of the touch bar. Oh no. I love controversial opinion. I love the touch bar. It looks really cool. I gotta say. I know so many people hate the touch bar. Look, I can defend myself. I really like the touch bar. I don't know why so many people don't like it. You know? Is there a reason why people don't like the touch bar? Like, is it just like tacky to them? I've heard a lot of people say use it for a prolonged period of time and you'll get sick of it. But I don't know. I've always wanted a MacBook with the touch bar. The MacBook I want is, let me look it up. The MacBook I want is, my email would load. I'm going to go over that in a minute. I just saw something crazy in my email. The MacBook I want is the 13.3 inch MacBook Pro with the Apple M2 chip in it. It's kind of lame specs. It's only 8 gigs of memory with a 256 gig SSD, with the hopes that I'm going to add external storage to it or something like that. But this is the MacBook I want. Let me pull it up. And it has the touch bar. I don't know. Is that a bad idea? I know this is like the fingerprint sensor and like you can like use Siri using the touch bar. I don't know. I kind of like the idea of it. Am I too ignorant to have an opinion on that? The MacBook I'm using right now is a mid-2012 MacBook Air. I'm using like an old-ass Intel-based mid-2012 MacBook Air. Is it a bad idea to have a touch bar? I still have function keys on mine. Also, new headrest cushion. It's a Snoopy sheet. I was using like an old-ass floral sheet before. This one's Snoopy. My girlfriend let me have it. She bought a Snoopy bed sheet set. Anyone who uses the non-fitting sheet, psychopath. But I don't know, is it like weird of me to want the touch bar? I feel like it's not. Am I wrong? I'm saying this like I have a chat. Guys, am I wrong? But okay, honey, you're pissing me off. But yeah, I really want the MacBook Pro M2 chip. And it has a touch bar. Is there anything wrong with that? Let me know. So when I was looking at my email, I saw this. Which is insane. I got an email because I have Quora. I have a Quora account, so I get emails about it. And look at this shit. My husband accidentally pushed our 4-year-old daughter off a 40th story window out of anger. Accidentally. How do I prevent my husband from being sentenced? One doesn't accidentally do something out of anger. If your husband did this, he deserves the rest of his life in prison because the child will not have survived. I guess you could say you did it and spend the rest of your life in prison. That's crazy. I need more details on this. We don't need the hassle from you trolling us. That's fair. There's no way this is real, right? Yeah. I feel like the kid would have died. Yeah, it feels like some of these questions are actually kind of vague, right? Things that happen for 800, Alex. Fuck. I might have taken the onion on this one. Fuck me, dude. I fell for that so hard. There's no way this question's real. Fuck, man. I fell for that shit. Oh, man. Well, I don't know. Some of the questions on Quora are kind of nuts. Some of them are realistic. Some of them are just like batshit insane. Let me see. I lost the cops in a car chase. My car doesn't have a plate. Am I fine? That one. I don't know. That one seems real. I'm sure there's a guy that did that and posted the question on Quora. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, Quora has some crazy ones sometimes. This person said, is a 4.3 a good GPA? Yeah, someone said you're using Quora to brag. That's what I'm saying, man. I get some crazy Quora emails sometimes. I don't know if they're real half the time. Sometimes they seem real. But, yeah. So for Christmas, I got some nice wrapping paper. I'm going to wrap my girlfriend's first present soon. I'm taking a road trip to buy her expensive present because it's better to buy it in person than it is to buy it online, in my opinion. When it comes to this one, it makes a lot of sense. And I'll reveal in a couple months on the podcast what I got her. But I'm taking a road trip with my mom. My car doesn't work. I would go on my own. But, you know, this will be a good time to hang out with my mom. We're going to go there, you know. I'm going to buy the thing. We're going to probably get some food, some lunch maybe. Go to some shop that's over there that I know about. It'll be cool. But for context, the reason why I say it'd be nice to hang out with my mom is because my mom doesn't live with me. She lives a state away with her boyfriend, so I don't get to see her too often. That was one thing that sucked about having strep, is that I was having lunch with her that Friday, which would have been like 2 weeks ago now. Almost. No, a week and a half ago at this point. That's the thing that sucked, is that I was supposed to have lunch with her, and I was like deathly ill. So when I had lunch with her, I was like out of it. I had no way of even like comprehending a thought when I was having lunch with her. So it sucks, you know. I don't get too much time to spend with her. But she lives too far away. That's why I don't see her too often. But you know, this road trip will be nice. I think even if my car worked, I would probably ask her to come with me. Just because, I mean, I don't know if I want to make that trip. The place I'm going to is almost 2 hours away. So it'd just be nice to have my mom there. But yeah, I already asked her. She already said yes. I don't know why I'm like, I'm gonna ask her to come with me. She is coming with me. But I'm gonna wrap that gift. And then I have other gifts I want to get her too. A lot of it is, I'm not gonna say what it is, but it's like a lot of similar stuff that pertains to something that she's into right now. I don't want to like risk her hearing this and being like, "Oh, he's getting me blah 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 blah," you know. I don't want to risk that, but I'm gonna get her a few more things. I'm gonna get her some stocking stuffers. I'm gonna get her, I don't know. I have a lot of things I have in mind that I want to get her, but we'll see, you know. But I don't know what I'm gonna get the other people in my life. So I'm probably gonna get something for my mom, something for my sister. I'm like looking almost directly at the camera. I'm trying to look off in thought. I'm probably gonna get something for my dad. The thing for my dad is gonna be kind of small, just because he doesn't usually care for gifts that much. The thing for my mom will also probably be kind of small, just because, you know, I know what she likes. For my sister, I'm not sure. That one I'm still pondering about, but we will see about that one. Like I said, I can't really say what I want to get them, because if any of them hear this, they're gonna be like, "He's getting me a." Oh, I was gonna mention, I believe November 7th. Let me check. I believe November 7th is the come on. November 7th marks 1 year since I brought the podcast back. When I made episode 12, Twitter is on fire. Look at what I looked like, man. So, oh shit, let me find a good shot of it. So, wrong scene. So, here's what I looked like back then. I don't look that different, but I've lost 20 pounds since this episode. And I feel like it's noticeable in my face. The one cool thing is that I had just gone to this concert, and I was like, yeah, I'm going to wear this beanie all the time. I think I wore this beanie like twice, and this was probably the last time I wore it. But yeah, this is the 1 year since I brought the podcast back. But what am I going off about? Y'all can't hear it because I have the sound muted, but I'm going off about something. Oh, I'm just talking about Elon Musk. Boring. Oh, and I show off my setup. What a flex. Freak, bro. Freak. What a flex. But yeah, it's been. I'm recording this on November 5th, but by that point, it will have been a year since I brought the podcast back. The actual age of the podcast is kind of crazy. Let me look. Age of the podcast itself is almost 7 years old. The first episode came out March 25th, 2017. And I believe the first episode was with Steven. Let me pull this up actually.
Hello guys, welcome to the Operation 18 podcast. I'm your host Dane. I'm joined by...
I'm Steven.
Yeah, so this was I had just gotten this mic, and Steven had the same mic as me. We were both so bad at configuring the mics too because they sounded not too good. And it was just a still image with us just talking about
So I mean, I can understand.
Candy.
Oh yeah.
$1 shoe versus $100 shoe.
I forgot they added the ×2 thing. But yeah, oh, and I marked it as Creative Commons. That's pretty funny. Because I thought everything in this episode was my content, and then you look at the outro, and the outro song is not mine. So I might actually have to change that. But we're coming up on almost 7 years, which is kind of insane. Granted, not many episodes were recorded in the 7-year span. I think more episodes have come out in the last year than have come out in the entirety of the podcast's history. I've released 24 episodes, 25 including this one. So I don't know if I can really say the podcast is that old. At most, I could say it's over 3 years old, but I don't know if I can really say that. I want to bring Steven back. I say that every fucking episode that I want to bring Steven back, and then I just forget to message him about it. But I want to bring him back on. I also want to bring my friend John on as well. There is a DM conversation, like an argument I was having with a guy, and I want to pull up the DMs and discuss them with John because they are so insane, the debate I was having with this guy. And I sent him the DMs, and he was like, dude, these are incoherent, like incomprehensible. And I was like, right? They are. I mean, it's literally, I posted something about Palestinians, and this guy responds to me and basically says something along the lines of, like, well, some of them are homophobic, so we should just kill all of them. And I'm like, excuse me? He also says something like, well, you know, it's a shame, but, you know, when they use human shields, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm like, you're fucking crazy, dude. Fucking insane. What he was saying to me was so genocidal. It was insane, man. And I want to go over them with John on the podcast. I feel like it'd be a really interesting experience. Me and him are pretty politically aligned, and we've been talking about this a lot over the last month. So I feel like me and him could have a really good discussion about it. Either he's going to be on the split cam on here, where he's on like Discord or like Zoom or something, or he's going to be here in person, meaning he will actually be like on camera in this room. So we might do it in person, honestly. He literally lives right next to me. So it'd probably just be better, but yeah, but yeah, I want to bring on John so we can discuss the you know, the whole DM thing. They're insane. I don't want to get into them right now, but they're pretty ridiculous. I paused the episode to like try to find a topic to talk about, and I literally can't find one. Because I just like ran out. I don't even remember what I was talking about before. You know, before I paused it. But I don't know, I thought I could find a good topic and I literally can't find it. But I legit can't even remember what I was talking about before this. That's the worst part. So I have nothing to go off of. So this is like a fresh, brand new episode. Isn't that crazy? One thing I will mention, by the way, it is getting hot in here, like I said at the beginning of the episode. I do remember that when I was talking about the Christmas lights. It is getting significantly hotter in here because I'm sweating pretty bad. Not bad. I'm sweating a little bit, but I can definitely tell that there's some heat coming off that wall, which might be a sign I need to turn them off soon. But I mean, I mostly just have them on for the background, for the aesthetics. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling the heat a little bit. One thing I've noticed is that so recently Windows will be like, here's an update. And for a while I'll just like ignore it. And I've noticed that if I ignore it long enough, it will literally freeze my whole computer. And when I restarted it, it forces the update. So now I've started updating the computer just willingly because I'm like, I don't want that to keep happening. It's happened like twice now. I want to avoid it. Well, I updated and I went to turn on the computer the next day and nothing happened. My monitors just stayed completely blank. So I'm like, that's kind of weird. But, you know, I restart the computer again. Like, I have to force shut it down and then turn it back on. And it boots up. Granted, it takes a while, but it boots up. And I'm still running off a hard drive, by the way. That's why it takes a while after an update. So then today I turn on the computer and the same thing happens. I'm like, that's weird. So I force shut it down. I wait a few seconds, let it power cycle. I turn it back on. Same thing, except now none of the monitors will light up. So I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So then I shut it off again, and I flip the power switch on the back of the power supply. I wait it out. I flip the power switch back on. I turn on the computer, and then it just takes it like 10 minutes to log me in. And here we are. I don't know what's going on. It's so weird to me. Now, yes, do I have plans in place to migrate my boot drive over? Of course. I'm going to use Paragon, and I'm going to clone my boot drive onto an SSD. Preferably a Gen 4 M.2 that's 2 terabytes instead of 1. Because I just want the extra storage. I'm probably going to go with that. And then that way also I can edit off of my boot drive instead of editing off of my gaming drive. And I can free up the gaming drive for gaming related stuff. But I mean, I have that plan in place. The problem is that I have to buy all of that stuff. So I'm hoping that this drive can hold out long enough for me to be able to buy all of that. It's like $60 for Paragon and then another $80 for an M.2 like 2 terabyte 4th gen Crucial drive, which doesn't sound like a whole lot, but that's in total $140 at least, not even counting the shipping of the drive. So that's the big problem. Is it's just I have to have enough money to buy all of this stuff and hope that the drive doesn't just fail on me before I'm able to do that. So I'm in a bit of a dilemma. What do I do? I have 3 drives in total. I have my boot drive, which is a 1 terabyte hard drive. I have my 1 terabyte M.2 SSD that I put all my games on. And then I have my 4 terabyte external hard drive that I have all my like backup storage on and all that. Do I start moving stuff to the backup drive now and just hope to God nothing fails? Or, because that's 400 gigabyte, or no, that's 500 gigs of storage to just back up. Should I do that, or should I hope and pray that I can last long enough to buy my new M.2 and buy my software? That's the big question here. It'd basically be me getting the drive, putting it in the motherboard, booting onto my hard drive, cloning my drive onto the M.2, unplugging my hard drive, booting onto the SSD, and then, merging my partition with the unallocated space on the drive to have a 2 terabyte boot drive. That would be the plan. But, obviously I need time to do that. What do I do? Yeah, I'm in a weird dilemma with that one. I guess to close out this episode, I will talk about my enjoyment of the show Loki. I've been and I'll even touch on the trailer for that Echo show. I've been watching Loki, and at this point, episode 5 is the latest episode. The finale is not out yet for me. And I think so far I like it. The second season, I feel like the first season I was more like locked in. The first season felt a lot like WandaVision, where there's like mystery after mystery after mystery, and you're like trying to figure out what's going on. The second season feels a lot more like something big is gonna happen, and what are they gonna do to stop it, and where does this all end up? And I guess it's still sort of a mystery, but it's more of like a suspenseful, time-sensitive mystery. So I'm going to talk about spoilers. So I really liked the time-slipping stuff, and I liked that the show picked right up where the first season left off. And I thought it was interesting how they spend the first 2 episodes basically just like establishing what's going on. And then establishing what has to happen to rectify everything. And then I liked how they introduced He Who Remains' variant, Victor Timely, I guess is his name. And I liked that. I liked how they spent a whole episode on that, and then another episode on like showing him. You really get to like him in the 4th episode. And he seems like he's going to be different from He Who Remains. And then he just fucking dies. It's so good. Like how they even kind of foreshadow it in the first episode, where if you're exposed to temporal radiation, you turn into spaghetti. And that's exactly what happens to him in the episode. And it's so crazy. I was literally just mouth like wide open, like I was shocked. I could not believe it. And yeah, so I was shocked that they killed him that quick. And I think I really liked it. I don't know. I was so sad for him, but I was thoroughly shocked that they did it, and I kind of enjoyed that they went that route. Yeah, just the fact that he steps out the door, he's like ready to do this heroic thing, and then he just spaghettis. But the fifth episode, I liked the concept that he's time slipping again, but in a way he can kind of control it. It's really interesting how they do it. How there's this kind of like master timeline that contains all of the timelines. It contains the multiverse. So in a way, Loki is transversing, or he's like traversing the time and space of the multiverse. Because, I mean, the fact that he's able to like slip back to before the temporal loom explodes, meaning he could probably stop He Who Remains from dying. The fact that he's like able to do that is kind of insane in terms of the MCU, because so far all we've seen is that the characters can time travel across timelines, but not that they can time travel across multiversal time and space. So it's a very interesting concept to introduce this late on into the multiverse MCU story. But yeah, I really liked how they did it, how he's able to time slip at the end of that episode. And I really liked that scene where she's listening to the record and everything's like fading out around her. That was so good. I loved that scene. It was, I've rewatched it like 3 times now. It's so good. And I really liked how they recreated the Infinity War feel of all the characters around Loki dying. I really enjoyed that. It was just so interesting, like how Mobius is like, I gotta get back to my kids, and then he just fades off. It's literally an Infinity War style death, because we then learn they're not actually dead after that, because Loki basically resets the whole stage. But I'm really liking the show, and I hope the finale doesn't disappoint. I liked that the first season of Loki is probably the only MCU show that had a satisfying finale. I feel like every other MCU show has had like a very flashy, like we need to have like a big boss battle kind of finale. What other MCU shows have there been this year? Secret Invasion? Secret Invasion was such a dud. And I think before that we had She-Hulk, which I didn't hate She-Hulk, to be honest. I thought it was very faithful to the comics. But I thought the finale was kind of weird, and it left like a really weird feeling in me. And then I didn't watch Miss Marvel, I'm not going to lie. I didn't care for it that much. It felt very teenagey. Like it felt like its target audience was teenagers. Did I like Hawkeye's finale? I felt like that one was too rushed too. It's been a consistent issue where the MCU shows have very rushed finales, that they start all these plot points throughout the show and then they don't conclude them fast enough. And it's like a limited series too. So instead of like they start a plot point and then it wraps up a few episodes later, it's like they start a bunch of plot points throughout each episode and then they feel the need to wrap all them up at the very end and then leave a lot of really vital ones open in the finale. Like they don't conclude them. My throat's drying out so fast. But I feel like it's a big problem with every MCU show. Loki season 1 had such a good, like, slow payoff finale. When they go to see He Who Remains, and it's literally just them sitting down and having a conversation, while in the background the TVA members are like discovering what's really going on at the TVA. I found that really interesting. And I really liked that finale. I felt like it took itself in like a slower direction. Everything was kind of slowly unraveling to the characters, stuff that we already knew that the characters didn't, that they were slowly finding out over the course of the episode. And then season 2 starts and it picks up at that same pace. Shocking too. It's a different director. I believe it's the same soundtrack. I believe it's the same artist doing the soundtrack, but it's a different director. And it still has that same like nice pace where you're like slowly learning things as time goes on, but there's still some good action, there's still some good character moments. I really like this season because it kind of continues season 1's pace while also having its own creative spin on it. It kind of ditches the like old style and takes on more of a like dystopian feel. Like everything feels kind of wrong You know, it doesn't feel like it should be going the way that it's going. Season 1 kind of gives you the feel of like everything is happening for a reason and it's going according to plan. And season 2 has a very like chaotic, we don't know how it's going to go sort of feeling to it. And I think I really like that. But I really hope the finale of season 2 doesn't make me upset. I hope they go with the similar, like, you know, slow pace. There's one goal: fix the temporal loom. And I feel like there's going to be like a moral debate. I feel like even though Victor Timely seems like he's not going to turn into He Who Remains, eventually we're going to see him like kind of take on that role of slowly becoming He Who Remains, since more than likely Loki's going to like prevent him from going out the door, so then they can have more time to plan and figure things out. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like this finale will be good. That's my expectation. It's the first time I've ever had good expectations for a show finale. But so far I really like it. I'll probably make another review video on my main channel, and the same thing that I did with Ahsoka. So I'll probably do something like that. And yeah, I hope it's good. But here, we'll go to the split cam for the end of the episode so you can see my secret co-host. My secret co-host. This plush monkey that I found at an antique store. I've always wondered his origin. Like, what kid owned this plushie before me? And also, what noises does it make? He has a battery pack in his ass. What a way to put that. What an unceremonious, like, blunt way to put that. He has a battery pack in him. He has a voice box. I want to know what he sounds like. I want to know what family and what kid owned this before me. I got him from an Apple Barrel store. I believe I got him from the one in Carrollton, Georgia. I don't think I've ever been to the one in Oxford, Alabama. Or it might be in Anniston, Alabama. I don't think I've ever been to that one. I believe I got this one from the Bremen, Carrollton, Georgia location. So I wonder, whoever runs that booth, I wonder like if like her child had it as a kid or something. I need more info on this monkey plush. I need to know when he was manufactured, so that way I can get a feel for how old the adult is that owned this thing, or how old the teenager is that owned this thing. I need to know more details about him. I need to put batteries in his battery pack. I just want to know more about him. I've made him a big fixture of my kind of office, like, content creation space in the last year. And I need to know more about his origin. It makes you think, right? Like, what secondhand things you have, who owned them before you. Because some kid played with this monkey toy before I ever owned him. And I'd be really curious to know who it was. I'd be really curious to know, you know, what this kid is like, why he gave it up, why it was in an antique shop. I just feel like it'd be interesting. You know, I own plenty of secondhand things where I think to myself, like, where was it before? Like the TV that runs the Chromecast back here, they used to sit in my great-grandmother's house, in her kitchen. I remember she, like, only had a TV in the living room and then a TV in, like, the guest bedroom. But it was more of like it wasn't even like a bedroom. It was like a room with a couch in it. And The room that had the couch in it, by the way, that TV that was in there is now in my bedroom. But I wonder who owned this monkey. Yeah, because this TV, it sat on like the island in her kitchen. We got it for her so we could like watch stuff on it while we were in the dining room. I think my family member wanted to watch like football or something on it. But the fucked up thing about it is that, oh my God, this guy's like stream died. That scared the shit out of me. It like lit up the whole room blue. We hooked up like a local TV antenna to it, and it would get like local football on it. The problem, because we couldn't get like cable to run to her kitchen. The problem is that if somebody was moving around in the kitchen, it wouldn't work. So, yeah, like this little TV, that one, sat in her kitchen with this like local TV antenna hooked up to it, and no one could move or else it would interrupt the signal. So that's like the origin of that TV. I got that TV and the one in my bedroom at the same time. We were like selling all her stuff in an estate sale, but we were trying to get everything ready. And I got to take some stuff home with me. I think I took home a couple surge protectors that are long overdue, need to be replaced. They're way too old for me to feel comfortable having them on. And then I took home those two TVs with the remote to both of them, remotes to both of them, and I also took home a Blu-ray player that sits under this TV. And the Blu-ray player is plugged into this little CRT that's next to it that you can't really see, but yeah, that's the origin of that. So it's stuff like that where like I want to know who owned the stuff before me. The speakers on my desk belong to a coworker of mine. Lord knows how long he used them for. But he gave me like a box of speakers, and these were the best ones in there. So the ultimate goal here is that I need to research this monkey plush, this one right here. Let's bring him on the main cam. I need to research this guy and find out his origin. Let's see. Ooh, hold on the phone. He's not as old as I thought he was. The kid that played with this toy is probably like 12 years old. He's probably no older than my girlfriend's cousin. It's copyright. Ages 3 and up. Whoa, so he might be like playing Fortnite right now, dude. It is copyright 2016. R&R Games Incorporated, Tampa, Florida. Wow. So this kid's probably not even that old. I was literally making Minecraft videos when this kid was playing with this thing. My YouTube channel is older than this guy. That's insane. I bought this plush 6 years after the kid was done playing with it. Or 6 years after the kid got it. So yeah, he might be like... God, man, he might be not even that old. He might be like 10. Damn, that's crazy. Maybe one day he'll find this channel and be like, you know, my parents sold my monkey plush to an antique store called Apple Barrel. And he'll see these videos and be like, oh my God, my childhood plush toy is in this guy's videos. Wouldn't that be crazy? Man, I'm shocked that this plush isn't even that old. Anyways, that'll conclude the episode. Go subscribe to the Patreon, where I upload the audio version of this episode early. And I sometimes do bonus content where like I talk about what music I'm listening to, or, you know, eventually if enough people subscribe, I'll do a bonus episode. That would be like, I guess I could, they don't do stretch goals anymore on Patreon, so I don't know. But But yeah, if I get to like enough people subbing, I'll do an extra bonus episode and whatnot. But yeah, thank you for listening. If you did listen this far, and have a wonderful rest of your week or rest of your day. And yeah, peace.